Welcome to Easy to Learn Technical Skills. In this video, I am going to explain about the concept of inheritance. What is called as inheritance? Inheritance means process of deriving the properties from one class to another class is called as inheritance. So class name followed by open and close curly braces along with semicolon. That is the syntax of class. So if you want to have the class methods and members, whatever you have within the class, if you want to access from one class to another class, you definitely have to go with the concept of inheritance. The syntax of inheritance is class derived class name. You have to give the derived class name along with the colon. Then access specifier. There are three types of access specifier. In the previous video, I already explained the concept of private, public, and protected. And the class name, that is called as a base class name, you have to give. This is the syntax of inheritance. So class is a keyword, is a user defined keyword. So you have to give the proper name as a class. It's a small letter. Then derived class name you have to give. The derived class name is also a class name. Satisfy the identifier rules along with the proper name you have to give. Then access specifier, I said three access specifiers are there. Then base class name is a class name which having all the property, we are going to acquire the property from that class alone. So you have to give the class name properly. Then types of inheritance. So inheritance, I said, is going to deriving the property from one class to another class. So according to the derivation types, there are 5 types are there: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. One by one we will see with example. Single inheritance, a process of deriving the property from one base class to another class is called as single inheritance. So only one base class and only one derived class is called as single inheritance. According to this example, here we have taken the animal class. In this animal, so many characteristics are there for animal. For example, eating is a character, then sleeping is a character. Here, according to this example, I took that dog is an animal. So dog having own property is called as a bark of, as well as dog can able to deriving the property from the animal property is called as a eat of and sleep of. So likewise, if you want to frame only one base class and only one derived class is called as single inheritance. So in this program, I am going to demonstrate the single inheritance. So the first one, you have to go with the class keyword along with the class name you have to give. Then open and close curly braces, and in between you mention the members as well as the method. And here we have the derived class. So class is a keyword along with the derived class name you have to give along with the colon. So this is a way we have to access the inheritance concept. So then you have to give the access specifier. Here I mentioned as a public. Then here this is called as a base class name. So whatever the class name you are giving the base, that only have to give here. So this is the way to access the inherited property from base class to derived class. And I said the derived class also can have its own property. So these are the properties are there for the derived class. And in this main method, you have to focus only the object for the derived class alone, not for the parent class, because from the derived class to access the parents class. So we are going to access the property from derived class to parent class. So we have to create the object for the derived class alone. According to the single inheritance, we are going to create the object for the derived class. So class name is called as a derived, then object name is called as obj. So through this object, we are going to access one method is called as modify member. So this is a function call. In this function call is going to access the respective method. So here the modify member is there, and in this member we are going to receive the value through the help of the function call. Here we are going to pass the value called as 10, and that will be passed here. That value will be passed to public var. So this is a way we are going to pass the argument from function call to the definition. The thing is, we have to create the derived class object, and through the object we are going to access one method. So public var is a property of a parent class. So through the child object we are going to access the public var, and then we are going to access the function call is called as a display member, and in this display member we are going to call this definition part. But in this definition we have another function is called as a display of. Our display method will be present in the parents class. We are having the derived class. The derived class going to access the parents class property. One is method we are accessing, and one is called as variable also we are going to access. Value of public var is equal to 10. So likewise we are going to get the answer from the program. So we will get the answer is called as a 10. So what is called as single inheritance? Only one parent class and only one derived class is called as single inheritance. You have to use the keyword is called as a protected. So what is called as a protected? Protected means can be able to give the access privilege within the class as well as the derived class, but outside the class we can't able to access. and this concept is called as single inheritance, one base class and only one derived class. So I like to explain with another example. So in this example we have the class name is called as animal. So of course the thing is animal having the common property of eating and sleeping, and here we have another class is called as a dog. So dog is animal, so dog having one property along with the characteristics of the parents class property. So here the dog having the property is called as a bark off. Okay, so now this is a parents class. How we are going to make the connection between those two classes? This is the way we have to make the connection: class and the derived class name colon and the access specifier, then parent class name you have to give. Then in the main function we are going to create the object for the child class. Child class name is called as a dog and the object name is called as a dog1. So first we are going to call one method, so dog1 dot eat off. So where is the dog1 dot eat off, which is present in the parents class? So this is a way we can able to access the property from child class to parents class. Next one is called sleep off method. So in this sleep off method we are going to access child class property to the parents class property, and the next one is called as a bark off. So the bark off is having one property, so it is going to be called in the way of function call. So now I like to execute this program. It will get the answer as I can eat, I can sleep. So the first answer is called as I can eat, second function call is I can sleep, the third one is I can bark. So this is the way we can access the property from child class to parents class. The next concept is called as multiple inheritance. So what is called as multiple inheritance? Multiple means one or more parents class and only one derived class is called as multiple inheritance. A syntax for multiple inheritance is class base 1, class base 2, which means that two base classes are there and those properties can be accessed with the help of class derived colon public base 1 and comma operator is used to separate one or more base classes, so comma, and then access specifier base class 2, then open and close curly braces along with the semicolon. So this is a syntax for accessing the multiple inheritance. So in real time example, so father is there, he is owning and he is earning separately, and mother, she is also going to job, so she has his own property as well as the parents property also there, and both father and mother property will be forwarded to the child. If the child is a single child, so both property will be shared with only one child, and this concept is called as multiple inheritance. So according to this example, I am going to have one class's name is called as a shape. So in this shape class we have, it has one property, one property belong to protected member, another one is called as a public member, and this is called as another base class is called as a paint cost, and this class having its own property, as well as this is called as a derived class, name is called as a rectangle, and this class going to acquiring the property from shape class as well as the paint cost class, and the rectangle class also it has its own property, and of course I said you have to create the object for the derived class alone. So the rectangle is called as a derived class, for that class you have to create the object. So while be creating the object of the derived class itself, the parents class will be the instance will be created for the parents class, and here we have the function call is called as set width. So through this object of derived class we are going to access the parents class property. The first parents class property is called as set width of. So where is the set width? Here we have the set width which is present in the first parent, and the next one is called as the set height. So this is also one of the method which is present in the parents class. So we got the answer of width as well as the height. Another method is called as get area of method. So rectangle dot get area of method. So in this method we are going to receive the value of area through the function definition. So get area method is going to call this get area function definition, and this is the function definition having the value of width into height. So we can get the answer is called as 7 into 5. So that is your answer, and that answer will be returned with the help of the definition part, and this area will acquire the properties of 7 into 5, and this is the function call. In this function call is going to get the area. So again it will call the area method and it will able to return the value. It will print the value called as 35, and here this is another function call. So derived class object dot get cost of. Where is the get cost method will be there? It is present in the another parent class. So in this get cost we are going to receive the area through the help of the function call. So here the area which is present in the value of 35, and that will be received here, and here we have the value called as 35 into 70. So this method is having one value and that value will be forwarded to the respect function call part, and this is the way we have to access two base classes property. The base class properties are width and height, and here the another base class property is called as area, and those properties will be accessed with the help of the derived class property. So here in this derived class property, we are going to access the parents class properties like width and height. So this is a way we have to access the parents class property. So this example is called as the multiple inheritance. So what is called as multiple inheritance? One or more base classes. So one base class and a second base class, and this is a derived class. So this derived class going to have the properties of both parents classes, and this concept is called as multiple inheritance. The next concept is called as multi-level inheritance. So what is called as multi-level inheritance? Multi-level means multiple levels of parents are there. For example, class base 1. So this is the class A can have the property, and it is going to derive the property to the another class is called as class B. So class B is a child of class A, and class B is going to be act as a parent also. Like class B having one property as well as it has the derived property of class A. Then class B have another child is called as class C, and class C having one property along with the properties of class B and class A. And this concept is called as multi-level inheritance. So like grandfather, father and you. Grandfather property will be shared with your father, and your father having the property along with the parents property, and that will be shared with yourself. And this concept is called as multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. So this is a base class named as vehicle. This is the derived class of vehicle class. So here class four-wheeler, which is going to derive the concept of vehicle. And one more derived class is called as a car, which is going to be derive the properties of four-wheeler. So if I am going to access the car, of course you can access the four-wheeler class as well as the vehicle class. How we can able to access all the base classes from the child class? See here, the car class we are going to create the object. Why? Because car is a derived class. That means the final child class. So here, while we creating the object itself, the parents class property will be called. And here we have the constructor is there called vehicle. And here we have the constructor is called as a four-wheeler. And here we have the constructor is called as a car. So it will, whenever we are going to create the object for the given class, all the constructor part will be executed one by one. So while we executing this program, you may understand the output. So see here, it will execute the vehicle class first. This is vehicle. So where is the vehicle? It is present in the parents class. So this is a vehicle. So it will call the respective definition part immediately once object is created. And the next answer is called as a four-wheeler. So here this is a four-wheeler vehicle. So you can able to access the second properties also. And this is called as a car class. This four-wheeler vehicle is a car. So that is your final answer. Likewise, from the child object you can able to access the all the parents classes. So through the help of the child object we can access the parents class as named as vehicle, and intermediate parents class name is called as a four-wheeler, and that own property also can be accessed with the help of the child. So this concept is called as multi-level. One or more levels of parents are there. So grandfather and father and you. Likewise, you can access all the base classes property from the child class, and this concept is called as multi-level inheritance. The next one is called as hierarchical inheritance. So what is called as hierarchical? See this diagram. One base class and one or more derived classes are there. So all the derived classes are going to access the parents class property. So the syntax is class A going to be derived for class B, class C as well as class D. Likewise, you can take the example of SRM. So SRM Institute of Science and Technology is called as a college name. In this college, we have 4-5 departments are there. All the 4-5 departments are accessing the college name is called as SRM. And suppose if you are going to talk about the Central department, Central department may have several kind of sections are there, AI1, AI2. So if I access the AI1 class, there are 60 students are there. So if I access any students of AI1, the student is belongs to Central department, and the Central department is belongs to the SRM Institute of Science and Technology. So if we activate the child class from any one of the student, immediately he will activate the class AI1, and immediately the class 1 will be activate the Central department. Then immediately the Central department will access the SRM Institute. It will immediately create all the instance of the parents classes, and this concept is called as hierarchical inheritance. This is an example program of hierarchical inheritance. So what is called as hierarchical? One base class, and the base class property will be derived to two or more derived classes. So here the one of the derived class named as car, another one is called as a bus. So in this car going to access the vehicle class property, and in this bus also going to access vehicle class property, and the car having one property as well as bus also having its own property. How can you achieve this? Because you have to create the object for those derived classes. One of the class is called as car and one is called as a bus. So you have to create the object for the derived class named as car. While we accessing the car, it will access the parents class first. So parents class having one constructor is called as a vehicle. So immediately the instance will be created for the parents class, as well as it will generate the instance for the derived class also. So the car class get activated. So once we created the object for the bus class, the parents class instance will be created, as well as the child class instance also will get created. So see here, first it will access the parents class property, this is a vehicle, and second time it will activate the derived class is called this vehicle is car. And the second object, while we creating this second object is called as bus, immediately it will call the parents once again, and then it will activate the child class again. So what is called as hierarchical inheritance? One base class and one or more derived classes. So this concept is called as hierarchical inheritance. And the next concept is called as hybrid inheritance. So what is called as hybrid inheritance? So combination of all type of inheritance is called as hybrid inheritance. If you want to activate a hybrid inheritance, see this diagram here, class F is going to become like a hierarchical inheritance. So class F going to have two classes B and E, and class B going to have A and C, and one more inheritance is called a single inheritance here, class G going to be accessed with the help of class E. So combination of one or more inheritance is called as hybrid inheritance. In this example, we have one parents class is called as a vehicle, and here one more parents class is called as a fare. So two parents classes are independently present, so which means that this is called as a multiple inheritance. And here we have one concept is called as a car. So this car is going to access only one parents class, which is called as a single inheritance. And here bus is one of the class, and it is going to access two parents classes. So this concept is called as multiple inheritance. So of course you are going to create the object for the derived class. So the derived class names are car as well as the bus. So if I am going to create the object for the bus, what will happen? Immediately it will call the parents class is called as a vehicle class as well as a fare class. So while we creating the object for the derived class name is called as bus, and it is the object is called as obj. So while we creating the object for this, immediately it will activate the parents class, because it is derived from two base classes. One is called as vehicle and one is called as fare. And here the vehicle class and the output of vehicle class is called as this is vehicle. So this answer will be displayed. Immediately it is derived from the another class is called as a fare. So fare class also it will be executed because it has the constructor part, and the answer is called as a fare of vehicle. And it has the own property of bus also. The answer is this vehicle is a bus with a fare. So this is your final answer. And this object is going to created. So once object is created, immediately it will call the parent class. So parent class name is called as this is vehicle, which is related with only one child class, which is called as a car, and this is also your answer. So this vehicle is car. So likewise you may get the answer is called as a hybrid inheritance. So what is called as hybrid? Combination of one or more inheritance is called as hybrid inheritance. I hope you understand the concept of inheritance. So once again I will repeat. So inheritance means a process of deriving the base class properties into the child class. The syntax of derivation is class derived class name, then colon access specifier base class name, curly braces along with the instructions. Then types of inheritance: single, multi-level, multiple, hierarchical, and hybrid inheritance. Single inheritance means only one base class, only one derived class. Multiple inheritance, one or more base classes, only one derived class. Multi-level inheritance, so multi-level inheritance. So class A is a parent, and it is if it is a parent, it has child. So the class B is called as a child of class A, and class B is a intermediate parent, it has child, is called as class C. Likewise multi-level inheritance can work. Next one is called as hierarchical inheritance. One parents class, one or more derived class concept is called as hierarchical inheritance. So for example, college, we can take college, multiple departments are there, and multiple departments going to have multiple sections are there. So multiple sections may have multiple students are there. So if I access any one of the student, immediately it will call the respective intermediate parent of the class, and the class will be access the respective department immediately, and the department if I call, immediately it will call the college. So likewise if I activate one child class property, so if I create object for the child class, the instance will be created all the intermediate classes and the parents class, and this concept is called as hierarchical inheritance. Next one is called as a hybrid inheritance. So what is called as hybrid inheritance? Combination of one or more inheritance concept is called as hybrid inheritance. So thank you for watching my channel. The next video I'd like to explain about the concept of polymorphism. So keep watching. Thank you.